Amistad and HarperAudio present Radical Reparations, Healing the Soul of a Nation by Marcus Anthony Hunter. Read by Chanté Mccormick. A note before we begin. Don't forget to download the accompanying enhancement PDF from your audiobook provider. It contains a list of references from the book. This book blends creative nonfiction and reporting. It reflects the author's research and present recollections of experiences over time. All scripture quotations, unless otherwise indicated, are taken from the King James Version, used under public domain. For and in Loving Memory. Derrick Bell, 1930 to 2011. Octavia Butler, 1947 to 2006. Manning Marable, 1950 to 2011. Marcus Allen Hunter, 1960 to 2020. Medina Johnson, 1980 to 2021. 1. Sambo's Smile. Hidden from the sun with limited air supply, deep beneath the sugar, rice, and fresh water, underneath the gold, silver, copper, and diamonds, well below the coal, ivory, and barrels of rum, a young West African boy lay deep within the ship's bowels, separated from everything he knew. He was unsure how long he had been in the dark, encased as he was in an endless loop of confusion, pain, death, suffering, tears, and unanswered prayers. When the ocean current settled, enough for the swaying and rocking to stop, he allowed his mind to wander. He would try and estimate how long he had been engulfed in darkness. He figured it had been at least a month and some weeks, if not longer, since he last saw his mother, father, sister, grandmother, friends, and village. There was no way that he could be sure of the elapse of time, unable to see the sun or the moon, nor the height of the tide, the tools he had been taught to measure time. All that he could recall was the long line leading onto the ship, the taste of iron from the bit implanted in his mouth, and the stench of rotten yams and okra meshed into the woven fibers of the sack the kidnappers pulled over his head. As the image of the African shoreline disappeared into the recesses of his mind, he felt his memory of home and what he looked and sounded like fade. When the boy could conjure memories of his mother's smile, a small comfort would come over him. It was always short-lived, however, disturbed as he was by the sounds of someone's soul and spirit finally escaping their sick and sorrowful body. Even when interrupted, the boy would still try to smile back at his mother behind his tightly shut eyes. Each time was more unsuccessful than the first, her face and bright white teeth moving further and further out of the range of the boy's imagination. The overwhelming darkness changed his vision and ate away at the boy's hope for rescue or return. He could feel in his stomach the sensation that the ship was sailing farther and farther from home. Sometimes he would muster just enough energy that he would try and live on his own smile, but even then the grip of the bit in his mouth was too much to overcome. The punishing taste of the blood of his gums tickled his tongue and rolled back onto his parched throat, a painful reminder that Africa was gone. With each attempt came the penalty of rust, blood, iron, and the jarring flavors of unfamiliar metals and minerals. And so it came to pass that somewhere between months and weeks on the journey, there at the very bottom of the ship, the boy stopped smiling altogether. It simply hurt too much to smile, to remember, to think. Unable to see his own reflection, the boy became convinced that his smile was gone anyway, useless if ever returned.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?